Welcome to the Borealis Experience. I'm your host Aurora, life coach and companion on this beautiful journey called life. If ever you feel like you are stuck, if ever you can't make sense of a situation, if ever you feel desperate to understand what's going on with your mind, your heart, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm sure we could find a way to make you feel better about yourself. The better you know yourself, the stronger you can be, the more valuable and precious you are to society. And that in turn will make you feel incredibly purposeful. To get to know yourself is a quest, is a journey that you have to embark on. And once you're ready for it, it's a journey that will never end. It will anchor you, it will uproot you, it will irritate you, it will agitate you, it will make you feel good, it will make you feel bad, it will make you feel deeply. It will make you experience life on a different level, on a really good level. Trust me on that. Today is Valentine's Day, and I'm very happy to be spending some time with you. Because that day, you can make it really special, or you can make it like any other day, a good day. But you can set an intention. In fact, I recommend you setting an intention for each day. Every time you wake up, I want you to set an intention. What is it that you want to feel today? Who is it you want to be today? Yeah, and when it comes to Valentine's Day, it's either a day that you're excited about, you're restless to experience, excited to spend with your new lover or with an old lover or with your companion. Or it's a day where you choose to be totally depressed and feel more lonely than on any other day. And I know I'm walking on thin ice if I say you are choosing to feel lonely. But I strongly believe that we create our own biggest suffering. And it is okay to feel lonely. It is okay to not accept where you're at right now. That's perfectly fine. But where is it going to get you to? Where does frustration and resistance and nagging gonna get you to? Trust me, when you are in a relationship and you nag, you always point out the things to people, to your partner specifically, that you don't like, they will very quickly turn around and either reject you or not listen to you anymore, or maybe even leave you because nobody wants to be around that energy for an extended time. So I encourage you to do the same with yourself. If you are in a situation that you don't like, that you cannot accept, then I hope you do everything to change it. And that doesn't mean to be active or desperate or restless each moment of your life to change that situation. Sometimes we have to come to terms with where we're at. Sometimes we have to accept where we're at in order to move on. If it is a place that you don't want to be at, then I encourage you to write down on a piece of paper What are the things that you deeply despise right now and that you don't like and can change in your life? And what are the things that you don't like but you cannot change? So those, of course, will be the things that you will have to accept because you can't change anything about it. But then if you see in a piece of paper, in a list, the things that you can change in your life, you can start taking action. You can maybe wonder what led you to make the decisions to get to where you're at right now. Because you didn't just end up here out of nowhere. You made decisions to be in the situation you're in. And now you can rebel and you can get angry and you can point a finger at me and get really agitated and tell me, no, this is not what you wanted. This is some external circumstance that got you where you're at, and you had nothing to do with that. It was an accident, it was other people, it was some other stuff outside of you that led you to be where you're at right now, and you can't stand it. Well then, my friend, we have to start work on making you feel less like a victim and more like an empowered person who in the future will make decisions for him or herself where you're not going to be able to blame anybody else outside of you but yourself. It is really important to find out where you're at and to know what you want to change. Valentine's Day can be very triggering, can be very uncomfortable, right? Instagram and Facebook in general makes you feel inferior, makes you feel like other people have it all together, other people have it all but you. And this day can be the ultimate trigger if you want to spend it on social media. I get it. I was in that position. But not for too long because it got too uncomfortable. When I started out my journey of self-discovery and self-care, I realized the more I accept and care about myself and my well-being, the more I attract people into my life who have very similar approach to well-being and self-care, and who are deeply nurturing and deeply sensitive and deeply curious about life. So just like me. But it was only then that I could see that I was actually surrounded by great people. I just had to learn to accept myself a little more and care a little bit more about who I was, who I am, who I want to be. So if you are in a relationship, if you are, totally satisfied with your love life, I applaud you. You're wonderful, you're deserving. It is so cool to have you here, and knowing that you still want to grow, you still want to find out more about yourself. But if you're single and unhappy, very lonely, it doesn't mean that something is wrong with you. It means that the time might still not be right for a partner to step into your life. You see, everything, every stuff, that you don't address about yourself, that you don't clear out, that you don't heal, that you don't find closure with, you're going to bring into your relationship. And trust me, your relationship is going to bring up anything that you were trying to suppress. And when you were single, you were able to bullshit yourself, to not look into the mirror, and to not be aware of what are the things that you could declutter or clean out or get rid of. And in a relationship, everything, trust me, every little thing is going to come up and look you dead in the eye that you did not address. This is what relationships do for us. So if you are single right now, it doesn't mean that you're incomplete. It doesn't mean that you have tons of work to do to get ready. But, better to say, and you can look a little bit deeper inside. What is the image that you portray to the outside? Are you being real with yourself? Are you being real with the people around you? Another big one. Are you trustworthy? Trustworthiness becomes more and more important in a world of social media and such, and dating apps. Let's mention them for a little bit. It is fascinating how we think that a picture, a profile with a couple pictures filled with a couple words is gonna make you trust a person and fall in love with a person. Yes, you can create sexy vibes, you can create lust. You can maybe fall a little bit in love with a person with what you see. But we all miss out on sensitive information that you would gather when you would meet the person in free range. Their behavior with other people, the way they move, the way they smell, the way they react to certain situations. I strongly believe we fall in love with features that you cannot capture with any computer, with any device. You have to experience them. So, all this to say, first, you need to get to know yourself first. You need to know what you're made of. And second, you have to find out who would be the perfect match for you. What is good for you? What do you need? What are you craving? How can you give that to yourself first and then attract a partner into your life who enjoys the very same things, for instance? But you got to do the work first. You got to know who you are and start being yourself out there as well, not only in your head. And this is why it's so incredibly valuable to work with a coach, just like I did it not too long ago, because then you have not only an accountability buddy, but you have someone who asks the right questions and who helps you to find answers to questions that you had for so long, who helps you to heal and reframe stories that have hurt you so much in the past. I hope on this day I was able to make you feel empowered and a little bit less lonely and hopeful for the future. The time will be right for another person to step into your life when you are ready. And you will be ready whenever you are. But until then, every person who's going to step into your life is either going to be a overcompensation, a distraction, or somebody that you expect to do the work. They're not there to rescue you. You cannot enter a nurturing relationship expecting your partner to rescue you. That is simply not fair and will just end up in a disaster. Again, if you are single and unhappy, please do not despair. You are endlessly worthy. Sometimes we're just meant to look inside a little deeper first to then be able to embrace another into our lives. If you have any questions, if you want to reach out, please never hold back and message me on Facebook or on my Facebook page, Aurora Eggert Coaching, and we can start talking there. Start figure out how I could help you. Take really good care of yourself, and I will be out there very soon again. Bye-bye.